backup audio has started. Let's see here. Twitch has accepted our stream.
I get to look at a dinosaur.
Yeah, we have to fix that.
Why? It's cute.
YouTube has accepted our stream. And now, let's see if Facebook accepts our stream. Facebook has accepted our stream. I'm waiting for Facebook to give me the link so I can put it on your page.
Okay.
Okay, Facebook, where's the link? There's the link. They have sent it to me. I'm copying it. I'm going to put it on your page. Waiting for Facebook to put it on your page. They have put it on your page.
Okay.
Now I'm going to put the timer on the screen.
There we are.
When it gets to
And
0.
I'm going to set it at -5. Come on, don't do that. Okay. You see the timer?
Yes,
on the
I
screen?
do, Richard.
When that's us on the air, you are on the air, okay?
Thank you, Richard, for everything.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome, everyone, to Illuminating Forward, the podcast. We are thrilled tonight to have my good friend, Jeanne Woods, in here. And we're so happy to have her because what happened was we had this other woman that was supposed to come as she's the superintendent from the National Museum and Park in Seneca Falls, and something happened and she couldn't make it, obviously out of her control. And so I called my good friend up, and guess what? She agreed to come on, and I am so happy about that. I'm so thrilled, and you're going to be too, because she's got some interesting things to talk about. Now,
hopefully,
first of all, she owns a business.
And I'm female.
And she's a female.
Sometimes.
And it's Women's History Month. And so she owns a business, and it's called Alchemy of Spirits.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit about what that business is about first, because I want to get that out of the way. I do know that she's got enchantment candles, and I do know that Jeanne helps people make their own candles. Like if you have a certain candle that you want to make and you don't have the equipment or you've never done it before, Jeanne can walk you through it, and she'll do it live with you. So here we go. And so Jeanne,
Yes,
tell us
Virginia.
about the enchantment candles. Explain those to people, would you please?
Sure. It is Mystic Enchantments. And basically, it is 11 different candles that have a specific intent to them. So, like, there's one that has to do with love, or there's the total opposite, which could be jinx, where you want to jinx some people, maybe, I don't know. Or, there's reversal, there's protection, there's health. They all are custom made by all of us that work at Alchemy of Spirits. So that's John, Kelly, and myself. We've all made candles. And they are, I should probably mention that they were developed along with Chris and Christina from Mystic Pines,
Who are out in Phoenix now.
Yes.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes. So we took on, when they decided to move, that's when we took on making the candles at our space at the time. And they still make them, but we word finding difficulties. We made them together. So basically came up with the ideas of what the wordage is on them, the crowning of them, the color of them, what the intent was, and also Reiki blessed. And so it was a whole bunch. So because we all can do that kind of stuff.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. But this is what I like about your candles. Like very often you'll buy candles that are in a jar and they don't burn all the way down because they're not made properly. All right, because I used to make candles when I was young, which is a long time ago.
Me too.
But your candles are made so they'll burn all the way to the bottom.
Absolutely.
And I know this firsthand, so
Yes.
I wouldn't just say so.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly because it's soy and beeswax, so there's no paraffins, which makes a difference in that aspect as well.
Really?
And we use cotton wicks. Like there's no chemical aspect. I mean, you got your incense, of course, the scents that go in it, but outside of that, it's a handcrafted thing of just the right amount of soy, just the right amount of beeswax. You have to cool it at a certain temperature in order to pour it, and add coloring and stuff, and how long they have to sit and cure. So it's a process which I never knew.
Scientific.
Yes, yeah, it really is. So, but it's a lot of fun. And then we do also the custom candles where I can develop through mystic type of venue aspects for myself that I use to really create a candle specifically for that person, whoever it is. It will have a custom scent that nobody else has. It will have a custom color that nobody else has.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, I use the Mystic Kabbalah.
I don't know.
I'm not good at names.
Either am
I use numerology. I use astrology. I use a lot. I'll combine together for the custom candles.
Really? Now, you know what Joe Shield, I don't know if you know Joe Shield, but Joe Shield, he's a world-renowned medium. Joe Shield says that numerology is the closest thing to perfection on how to figure out your life and whatever. Numerology is it.
That's the tattoo, the 369 aspect. That's because those are numbers that mean a lot in both nature, universe, everything.
Really? See, you know, as an artist, whenever I get near numbers when I was younger, my brain would freeze, okay? I did okay in grammar school in math, but when I got into high school, my mother made me take algebra and geometry.
Oh, I hated those.
And I really had a hard time. So then when I was in art school, when I was in school for art, I had to develop my own system because I was doing very, very intricate work.
Right.
And I was doing fabric printing. And I was standing there at my fabric, and I had the design, and I was just staring. My brain had frozen. And my professor came up to me and said, Virginia, what is the matter?
Right.
I mean, because I was like in this daze.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, I can't do this. And she knew immediately what was wrong with me because she had the same problem in art school. So she said, I understand completely. She goes, we just got to develop your own system. So when Joe Shield informed me about numerology, I was like, well, I'm never going there. But, hey, maybe I will.
Well, it's not math. I mean, it is, but it isn't, right? I mean,
It's like basic math, you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you're trying, I mean, you can add up numbers to your birthday, whatever the case may be, and you can use all the that. Mick.
Who's here?
Mick.
Mick. Hi, Mick. How are you? Are you going to call in? How are you? Thank you so much for leaving your phone number on the computer. We love you, Mick. Yeah. So, but I wanted to also talk about, but one more thing about the candles. Okay. So let's say that I fell in love like tomorrow. Okay. So I could come to you and say, this man that I'm really crazy about, his birthday's coming up, and I'd like to give him a candle. So could you do that?
Absolutely.
And what kind of information would you need for me to do that from? For?
Preferred color, preferred scents. Not necessarily scent. Like, I don't want specifics, but if you like an earthy tone versus a flower tone, that's what kind of stuff I'm looking for. Birth date.
Birth date.
Birth date.
The
Their
horoscope,
sign. Yeah. those kind of things as well. And I would ask a bunch of questions, because I mean, does he like red? If he doesn't like red, I'll make it a different color, kind of stuff, So it's that kind of.
So they really are personalized.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, they really are personalized to the horoscope, numerology, and
Well, I
everything.
also had frequency vibrations in it.
Really?
Depending, yeah. The mix of candle wax sits in a certain frequency zone that I put it in.
Really? This is like this. I love this.
Yeah.
I love
Because
it.
I like the science part. I mean, if
Yeah.
you can change the vibration, you can change anything, and that's what it's all about to me.
This
Might
is
not
true.
happen right away, right? But I've had very successful candles work. They don't work as the way people might want them to work, right? 'Cause
Right.
They get set in a certain way or whatever, and they might not
And
work that
they-
way. But
and they get set on a certain outcome. People get set on a certain outcome
Absolutely.
all the time.
yeah, so this helps them kind of break that cycle if they need to. I mean, if it's a good cycle, you want to keep it going. But if it's something you kind of need to work on,
Self-destruction.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we all have, sometime in
Absolutely.
our life we've all been like
oh
that way.
yeah, right, right. Yeah,
We
yeah.
all have. I don't
some
care who you
now,
are.
some later. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so okay, that is like good to know.
Yeah.
Now these perfect candles, because you got me. Are they affordable?
Well, yeah, they're for the consultation as well as the candle itself, which you can get in approximately 3 days after I make it.
3 days.
Yeah, yeah. It only takes me about 3 days. The meeting with the person and stuff, it might take a week. You know what I mean? And if I
Right.
have to mail it out, it might take a little bit longer. But it's set up so that it can be set and cured and everything within about 3 days. But it costs about $50 plus tax. I mean, it's
Really?
my time and
That
stuff.
is affordable.
Yeah, yeah. It's not. I mean, you get your own candle. Nobody, and the signage on it says nothing about what the intent is.
Really?
Yeah, so nobody will know what it's
So
for.
nobody knows.
Nope.
So it's like a personalized.
Yeah.
Nobody has to know anything.
Nope. It's your business.
You just
not
burn
anybody
it
else.
away.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I can see people walking through their houses. I got my candle going on.
Set it up here. Set it up there. Set it up there. Yeah. I mean, wherever. I mean, I enjoy them, and they're the prayer jars. It's not like you're getting a small votive or anything. It's prayer jar size
Right.
candle. So
Right.
it goes for quite a few hours.
And they burn.
And they burn.
all the way to the bottom.
Yes.
Which
Yep.
is amazing because a lot of candles that you buy, they just don't.
No. No.
And they're made by all kinds of people that claim to be great candlesmiths, but it's like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had like a candle burn half an inch, and that was the end of it.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And that depends on the scents too, because some of the scents will do that to it.
Oh, is that why?
Because we had a couple of them that did that. Yeah.
Really? The
Yeah.
scents will do it. Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Now, I bought these books.
Yes.
Okay, now we talked about this before we came on tonight, but
Uh-huh.
I bought these books when you guys opened up your shop, and I went crazy about these books, and I've never read them. That's typical of me because I'm a bookaholic.
Well, that and they're probably more of a resource aspect to them.
Probably, but they're a really easy read. I just haven't gotten to it now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 now. Let me see if I remember this. Sabbats,
Sabbats.
sabbats.
I mean, say
And
however comfortable it is, really.
Okay, and what's the other word?
Esbats.
Aspects. Okay, so which ones are the sabbats?
Sabbats. I don't know.
Okay.
Do I know their names? Yes. Do I know? They're more apt to coincide with Christian.
Yes, because that's what the Roman Catholics did.
Yeah, they stole from
They're-
Yes.
Now-
Yes.
Now, the Celts, the Celts are the ones that came up with these. Okay, just so everybody knows, I got it written down. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
Well, we know the words.
Right,
Right. Right.
These were all holidays.
Yes.
Oh, not holidays.
Yeah,
Spats.
well,
spats.
I mean, same difference.
These were days of rituals and ceremonies with the bards. with the Druids.
Yes. They
Okay.
took from everybody. Yep.
And so then what happened was the Roman Catholic Church, because they wanted to indoctrinize people into the religion, they said, well, the best way to go about it, and they're still doing it to this day.
I know.
So like they found a formula that works. You got to hand it to them.
Yeah.
They found a formula that
Yeah.
works, and they're sticking with it.
Yep.
So they built their holidays on the same days of these Sabbats, which really went along with nature, like
Absolutely.
with the moon
Yep.
and whatever,
Yep.
with
Seasons.
the trees and the
Yep.
seasons.
Yep.
And so it's really kind of interesting. But you know what? This is the thing that blew my mind about this whole thing about this, because I'm Irish and Scottish. So,
Right.
and I dressed up as a druid once for a Halloween party, and nobody knew who I was, and I was very upset.
I would be too.
I was very upset.
Yeah.
I was a young woman. I was like, "What do you mean nobody knows?"
Right?
I thought everybody knew.
No, definitely
my
not.
my mother, she had me going with this. So now, here we are with these holidays or
Mm-hmm.
whatever in the Catholic Church, and we have all these here now. Here we are in America, and we're doing it. You are doing these rituals and ceremonies, and there's certain ones that go with certain days, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can usually, doesn't have to be specifically on that day. Would it be preferred? Absolutely, but you don't. If you're typically like when we had our physical brick and mortar space, we would try to coincide as close to a holiday date as we could. Sometimes you can't because of the fact of different reasons, weather, people not being able to come out on a certain day, other reasons than that. But typically we would try to get it as close to the date that it was. And we would just do our high magic then.
It's fabulous, but in Ireland,
Use.
when you look at the whole island, of Ireland, okay, there are more sites that have been dedicated to Saint Bridget
Yes.
than Saint Patrick, okay, which and first of all, Saint Patrick wasn't even Irish, okay? So, I mean, I don't want to upset people with this information.
History is history.
But people get upset. I mean, people have told me I don't know what I'm talking about when I say
know.
this kind of thing.
Well,
but,
yeah.
But now, so Saint Bridget
Yes.
was a goddess before she was a saint.
Correct.
She was the goddess Bridget, and
Yes.
she had all these sites all over Ireland that people went and worshiped Bridget. And then all of a sudden, this guy shows up with the snakes, and the next thing you know, it's like, goodbye. We're going to make you into a saint because we have to keep our people with us. But it's Saint Patrick is the guy.
Yeah.
And so here in America, it's St. Patrick's Day.
It is. Yeah.
It's not St. Bridget's Day.
No. But we still celebrate. I mean, you still do those, those ritual type of aspects to it, like making the Bridget cross. You add
true, that's
you
true.
add those to
That's
whatever magical workings that you do. There's stuff, the coloring, all that kind of stuff goes hand in hand. Whether you put a dress on or whether you wear pants. I mean, it's really the same type of energy, just a male form versus a female form.
Interesting.
In my opinion. I mean, I can't base it off of anybody else's, but in my opinion,
Interesting.
yeah.
Now, Samhain. So did I say that right?
Samhain.
Samhain. Okay. It's going to keep me on my toes. Samhain. Now, that's like the New Year?
Yes. For witchcraft, yeah. For witches, yes.
Really?
Yes.
So what happens on that day?
It's Halloween, man. This past Samhain, we did a dumb supper, which was phenomenal. It was so much fun. Unfortunately, we were sick afterwards, not because of the food. Put that out there, not because of the food. We all unfortunately got COVID afterwards.
God, COVID. I got it
Yes.
too.
Yeah. So, but the dumb supper was phenomenal. So you sit at the dumb supper, and there's a whole ritual to it because you have people who are going to be all sitting there, and people serve, and you serve in a certain way, and you serve certain food a certain way. So you start off with your dessert, and you work backwards.
Really?
Yes. And then you get served by the.
I've always wanted to do that as a kid.
And there's no talking. There's no talking.
Oh.
None.
This is like a potslash, but go ahead.
So nobody gets to talk to each other. We all had veils on our face to help with the veil between worlds, right? Because that's really what Samhain is about, is the veil between spiritual
Is the
world.
thinnest,
Yes,
correct? The
yes,
thinnest?
yes. So, and then you just sit and you eat, and if you need something, you got to find a way of asking for it at at the table, and then John did most of the serving because he was the youngest at the time when we did this. So, and then you serve in a certain way and you go clockwise, and then you remove clockwise, and everything's within a circle.
Interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of our stuff is done in circle. So, and that's just a sacred space, kind of like
Well,
anywhere.
it can't be broken.
Right.
Now somebody wants to know where the shop's at. She no longer has a brick and mortar, but they do have a website.
We do.
Alchemy of Spirits, and you can get their schedule so you can go visit them at their psychic fairs and whatever.
Yes.
That they're on the circuit.
Oh, yeah, we are.
They're on the circuit. So alchemyofspirits.com.
Yes.
Okay, correct. Now, when you talk about the supper, it reminds me of a potlatch. Now, potlatch, it reminds me of, see, this is where we're getting into like cross-cultural.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of the ancient times. So, when I was engaged to the indigenous chief in Alaska, he had me go
Okay.
to a potlatch.
Okay.
Now, what it is, you get into like a circle or the four corners of a room or whatever,
Yep.
and you face outward.
Got it. Yep.
You face outward, and people are served clockwise, no talking, and everything that's slid in front of you, you must eat.
All of
because
it?
I didn't.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you're upsetting the whole energy. And whoever made that for
Right.
the potlatch, you're like insulting that
Yeah,
person. So
yeah.
you had to eat everything that was put in front of you. Very, very, my first one, they had found out that I love blueberries, right?
Right.
So to honor me,
Yeah, yeah.
they made me blueberry ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, wait. Blueberry, they called it blueberry Indian ice cream. It was made with whale blubber. I know, right?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
So now
No.
this was put in front of me, and it was like these women had toiled to make this for me
Right, so
because
now you gotta eat.
somebody told them I love blueberries, which I did. So it was nonstop. It was coming in front of me, and I did the best I could.
Did you at least take a taste?
Of course I did, but
Did it taste bad?
But I had. Did it taste bad? I mean, come on. Come on. But, it's an acquired taste.
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
It was
Right.
obviously an acquired taste.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine, ever doing that again and be as concerned as I was, because then at another point of the night, I saw out of the corner of my eye a moose hoof. So I was like concerned that I was going to get it in front of me and that I would have to take a bite.
Really?
But by the time it got in front of me, there was no meat left on there, so I was okay.
Oh,
So I didn't have to try the moose hoof, whatever.
right.
But you hit everything that I was told ahead of time by my fiance.
Right.
No matter what they put in front of you, you must eat it. I was like, okay, sure. So, but then this blueberry thing, and then these poor women were asking me afterwards, well, did you enjoy it? I was like, oh, it was lovely.
Right.
But
you.
I wanted to die.
Yeah.
Because it's not an acquired taste.
Right, nothing you're used to.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Totally
But-
makes sense.
But
Yeah.
these ancient times with the
Well,
clockwise,
Always. Everything with the sun, everything with the moon, everything with the time of day. I mean, even astrology. Like all of it, it's just tied into, well, time is a irrelevant thing, but into custom aspects, right? Everything has to do with custom. They all intermingled. You have Alexandria that had all commingling together, philosophy, science, all of it.
That's
So
true.
yeah,
Now, what is this purple book you have? Can we? Can you hold it up?
I can hold up the book. I'm not going to open it though.
You don't. No, don't
This
open
is
it.
this is my special book for our craft. I don't know which one to go to, but
It's a beautiful book.
thank you. I got it from when I was in Salem.
Really?
Yes. So it is near and dear to my heart. I have quite a few books collections like these because everything at one point was separate. I had alchemy separated from herbology, separated from I used to do Egyptian stuff that I looked into, so it was a lot of research stuff there. So everything was all in separate books, and I'm like, I've had enough. I need to put it all in one, and that's what I did. Even the Mystic Kabbalah, whatever it is.
Oh, what?
say-
That is a very interesting religion.
My new found is the human design aspect, which also has it in there, the tree of
Really?
life and stuff.
Really?
Yes,
The Tree of Life.
Yes.
Now,
So-
how would you explain the Tree of Life to the average person that doesn't know what you're talking about?
Okay, in the mystic aspect,
Yeah, yeah.
the tree of life represents three different pillars, right? And those pillars are typically it could be the extreme of one and the extreme of other, and I have them written down, but I don't remember. And
That's
then
okay.
there's different worlds in between.
Mm-hmm.
So the earth is the bottom, and then up top is where you are aligned with the divine, whatever you so call that as. But the pillars kind of keep you in balance, and if one's off balance, then your whole spiritual aspects are out of balance. But they all deem something specific, and I, for the life of me, can't remember what it all is without reading it.
That's okay. That's okay.
But that's, to me, what it's about. So they're little bubbles that they normally show on the Tree of Life.
Yeah, they do.
So those are different worlds, so to speak, that represent different. To me, it's just like personality. You know what I mean? Like for those are your pillars of strength. So there's strength, there's wisdom, and I can't think of the third one. But
It's okay.
so whatever those. So if you're lacking in one of those, right, then you might be off balance. Whereas, so in my book, I color coordinate. I colored everything in it.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, well, sometimes it helps the memory. Not today, but sometimes it does. And there's also different things like different ways of looking at the spheres, aspects and stuff. So you
There it is.
have there it is. So technically, Earth is not even on the bottom because that is supposed to be the. I don't even know how to say it. Malkuth
Sounds good.
Kingdom, but that's basically the underworld.
Okay.
And then the Yesod Foundation, and then it goes up to, I don't even know how to say these, so I'm not even going to say them, but the top one is Crown. So there's Pillar of Severity, Pillar of Mercy, and the middle one is, I'm not quite sure.
Well, the middle
But
one
anyways.
would be the one that I would think
Connects
that
both?
that everybody would want to be at.
Yeah.
That's where they'd want to
So
be.
one is female, one is male kind of stuff, and then they also go with planets. So that's kind of why I also, and there's different colors for them, so and Hebrew names for them and stuff. So that's kind of why I utilize that as part of my candle magic as well for the for the the custom candles.
Wonderful.
Well, because you don't know whatever. They all mean something.
Right.
They all kind of go together, in my opinion. So, I mean, that's just how I work. Is I have to have the science, not just the spirituality aspect to it. So, why not combine them all?
Right.
I mean, same
Right.
thing with the Sabbats and the Asbats. They're just
Well,
names.
But this is what I think. Like this whole thing about New Age. I don't think there is such a thing.
No.
There's no such thing as New Age because
No.
because everything that's so-called New Age
Is really old.
is from
Yes.
the ancient times.
Absolutely.
So this whole thing about New Age, I just kind of like, when people talk about that, I kind of like smile. However, there's a church in Manhattan called the First Center of Religious Science. And Louise Hay, I don't know if you ever heard of her. Louise Hay is the one that made affirmations a word that was in your living room.
Okay.
Okay, she's the woman that really did it. Now, she was an ordained clergy person in this first Center for Religious Science in Manhattan. And it grew out of the New Thought movement. That's what it was basically called. But
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing.
Right.
But this New Thought movement, and out of the New Thought movement, which was founded by an Ernest Holmes, who's no longer with us,
Right.
but came these other churches. Came the religious science, came unity. We have a Unity Church in Buffalo, and the Christian Science, not Scientology.
No,
but
Christian Science.
Christian
Yeah, I know
Science,
them.
which my grandfather finally rested in because he kept leaving churches. He kept leaving. He was going to one denomination to another, and
Because he couldn't find his way through.
and
Yeah.
then he finally
Yeah.
sat down at the Christian Science Church and said, "Okay, this is who I am,"
Yep.
and made his youngest daughter become a Christian Scientist.
Nice.
You're a typical parent.
Yes, absolutely. Don't they all go through that?
Yeah. So, yeah. So, but the Church for Religious Science, they call themselves part of the New Thought movement, and I really want to call up Dr. Hart and go, not for nothing, you really need to knock it off because this is all ancient times.
It is, but it's a bring back to, right? Bring it to the forefront comparative to, I mean, you have the separation of religions all over the place. So this new age is bringing all of them together. And
This is true, the
I
new
think that's
age.
why they call it such, because in the old age, I mean, we're talking old age in more current times, right? We're not
Right.
talking ancient, we're talking current times.
Right.
That old age is you go to your church, and we meet at community centers or whatever the case may be, but we're all separated in our religious sections. New age brings, I don't care if you're Buddhist, Tao,
Right.
We can all meet together
We
in the
can all
middle.
meet together because it's all one source.
Right.
It's all one. It's
Yeah.
all one energy.
Right.
So to say.
Absolutely.
Now, which Sabbat? Did I say it right again?
Yes.
Which Sabbat is for Bridget? Because I think she's the coolest thing going.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the in bulk one, yes.
That's the one.
In bulk.
Okay. Now she's the goddess with three. She had three parts to her, right?
Yeah, like the mother maiden crone concept.
Yeah, and then she had she had the hearth, and she was very powerful.
Absolutely. A lot of times the goddesses are seen as more, they're not, I mean, there's some that are feminine, dainty types, like Venus and that kind
Athena.
of stuff. Athena, yes. All of them. But then you've got the other ones that are more of the warrior, strong, personality, strong feeling type of goddesses that a lot of people, for lack of a better word, worship. I don't know if worship's really what they actually do. I don't think any.
Reverence, maybe.
I think it's something that they definitely feel comfortable with and definitely work with. Not worship as in, I think, how it was back in the ancient times.
Right.
I don't think that's how people do it anymore. I mean, you have people that you work with, goddesses that you work with, that you feel comfortable in working with, that you might praise them. You might give them an offering of some sort, but that offering is more of a way to thank them rather than worship them. Does that make sense? In what I've seen, in what we do, when we're doing rituals, we call upon specific ones to work with them, not to actually worship them. Because also in our way of thinking, in particular with the alchemy group that we are, everything is seen as a hierarchy aspect. So those gods and goddesses are only representations of the end-all, be-all, the divine, the universe, however you want to put it. They usually, in a lot of books, talk about what is it called? I can't think of it. Okay, you ever seen Star Wars?
Yes.
Hologram, thank you very much.
Hologram, there
That's
you
all
go.
I had to say. Hologram, and I knew what I was talking about. But so they're all holograms, kind of, sort of the all. However you want to deem that name, because they're all little bits of pieces. They all facets of one being, and it's easier for people to, if they have human characteristics to them,
To approach them.
to not only approach them, but to understand them better. That's why a lot of gods and goddesses also had faults.
Or connect with them.
Yeah,
or connect
absolutely.
with them.
Yes.
Yeah, faults. Yeah.
Yeah. They were seen as human but better qualities in some ways, in some things. But then they had their faults. So I mean, that's typical for, at least typical in who we hang out with and what we do.
Okay, now about this manifestation.
The 369.
Yeah, can you talk about that for a minute or two?
Well,
You said that those are like really important numbers.
they are, because they're in nature. I mean, you have there's a lot. You have 3.14, right, is pi.
This is true.
Okay. There's a lot of threes in everything. You have the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. You have the Mother, Maiden, Crone. You have, it's just, and sixes and nines, they're all the same way in regards to the seasons and in regards to just the way people worked with numbers. Everything is, you can divvy down a lot of things into the 369 aspect. 6 being if I'm not mistaken, because it's been a while since
It's
I've
okay.
worked on it, but it has to do with the 3 points. So a triangle has 3 points.
Right, it's got 3 points.
So it makes it the most stable aspects in when you're looking at nature, and they're building blocks of different things. You go into the 4s, and there's certain numbers that the Fibonacci cycle has a lot of the 369 aspects to it, where I don't think that they're even in there. I can't remember the Fibonacci. You know what the Fibonacci is, though, right?
Right.
So, I mean, there's different aspects to it. It's just, one is pure. I mean, it's just numbers that you can really hone in on, that you see a lot of, that people just don't recognize. You know what I mean? It's like there's not just the science and math to it, right? The 369 are just numbers, but 6 is divisible by 3, 9 is divisible by 3.
Right.
And then you have 3, like I said, the Father, Son. Why are they always in 3s? Mother, Maiden, Crone. Hello, Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
There's got to be a reason why those three things are 3s. You know what I mean? Like that triangle of Father, Son, Holy Ghost. There's got to be some reason for that. And if weight's put on that triangle, it stabilizes. Pyramid,
right. But when we talk about manifesting, okay, when we talk about that, some people are confused. And I really don't think that they understand the full course that has to go through when you are attempting to manifest something. You have to change your frequency.
Absolutely.
You have to put forth an effort.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. Right. Yep.
I have never been a follower of Jim Carrey. Never. I always found him very annoying. And then I watched this clip of him one day, and he said, "Yeah, I manifested my first $1 million." He said, "You're right." He goes, "I wrote a check out to myself for $1 million, and I put it in my wallet, and I kept it in my wallet for he goes, for how long? For years." He said, "But I didn't put that in my wallet and go lay down on my couch and eat a sandwich."
I know. Yeah.
He goes, "I worked towards making my first $1 million." And this is where, I listen to people giving people false information.
Right.
And it drives me crazy. Well, to manifest, all you have to do is just say so and put it out there. And words have power. Yes, words do have power. That's why they call it spells.
Absolutely.
Spelling.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Words are things.
Yes.
But you have to, like,
You got to do the
change.
work, too.
You know, and that's where we get back to what? Alchemy, right? You have to change. You have to work towards it.
Yeah.
You just can't lay home and eat bologna sandwiches and think that you're going to become a millionaire.
Well, alchemists never did either.
Right.
I mean, they're out when you're talking alchemy, you're talking about chemists, for lack of a better word,
right.
who sat there,
Chemists.
meditated at the same time, waiting for their chemistry set, whatever you want to, because they had a chemistry set, they had their fire and they had their stuff. They sat there and waited for that to change, and they would meditate while they were sitting there waiting for it. So it was a change in both ways, both the
Right.
physical aspects and the spiritual.
and the
it wasn't
spiritual.
just one and done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like now in my old age of 66, I just sit on my hands and I let people say these crazy things, but they don't say crazy things like that to me because I know better. You
Right.
just can't say, "Oh, gee, I'm going to become a millionaire." And, just think it comes true.
Yeah.
No,
There's definitely
we have to put forth that we have to let the change happen within us
Absolutely.
before the change can happen without us.
Yes. Yes.
All change, I think, starts within.
Absolutely.
What's the saying? It's an inside job, right? It's an inside job, right?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
yeah. So, but the good news about manifestation is that anybody can do it.
Absolutely. Just
Anybody
like anybody
can-
can do magic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful lesson in it all is
Yeah.
that anybody can do it, but again,
Well,
there's a science to it.
Yes.
There's a science to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can't just say words and expect something to come fruition when you haven't put any effort in. So absolutely, you can't just sit there. I mean, is there an idea of where our business would like to go? Absolutely. Am I going to say it? No. And it's not because that to me is bad juju aspect.
No, it's not. It's just
We haven't come to a point where it needs to be said yet. So it's that working.
you have to
aspect
keep your
there.
you.
That's
have,
my end goal, though.
You have to keep your conscience close.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the business world.
Yeah.
You really do. I mean, we just can't be naive about things.
No.
I mean, business is too often in a capitalistic society is too often very, very cutthroat.
Absolutely.
That people get carried away. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, we all need money to eat.
Right. Yeah.
We all do.
Yes.
But there's sometimes I get really upset what happens in business.
Yeah.
I get really upset, and that's why sometimes I just kind of like close my drapes and go, I'm going to sit here with my dog.
Right. Right. A little bit better company right today. Well, and that depends on your energy, right? Because I mean, some people can not suck the energy out of you because I don't think anybody has that opportunity to do to other people. However, there is.
Some people can be exhausting, though.
Yes, absolutely.
If we allow
absolutely.
it.
Yes.
If we allow it.
Yes. Well, I mean, either way, either they're exhausting because of the fact that they're borrowing your energy, or they're exhausting because you have to put forth an energy to maintain a positive aspect to it, right? I mean, it depends on who you're working with and stuff, but energy is energy. I just had this conversation with we got a call?
We got a call.
Oh, get it up.
Hi, you have reached Illuminating Forward, the podcast. With whom am I speaking with?
Hi, it's Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. How are you? I'm so
Good.
glad-
How are you?
Oh, we're doing good. We're having a good time here with Jeannie. So, do you have
Hi,
a question?
Jeannie.
Hi.
So, do you have a question?
I just wanted to say hi. I came in when you guys were talking about the 369
Yes.
and the threes and the sixes and all that stuff. And I just want to say I did a tarot reading today where threes and sixes and nines were all coming out in the reading.
Really?
And I was like, oh, look at this.
This is not a
Yeah,
coincidence.
it's like
This is
divinely
synchronicity.
guided.
Yeah.
No.
Synchronicity
Yeah.
happening. Absolutely.
This is not
Yeah.
a coincidence.
Yeah, it was
Jeannie
very cool.
says.
Yeah.
Oh, really? This
Yeah.
is,
Well,
and
fun.
little Miss Jenny and I were together this morning, for breakfast, and she took my dog with over to the vet and everything, and
nice.
for me, and yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Well, together I was there too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So 369 with the tarot reading, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
And like, I hear you guys talking about it, and then I was talking to somebody else today who was talking about 369, and I'm like, look at that, 3 times.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. You got death they always say that happens in threes. You know what I mean? Like there's so
Right.
much.
Right.
There's so
yeah.
much in regards to those numbers. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look. I'm going to look into this
See,
further.
See, numerology isn't so bad.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Jenny. Is there anything else?
I don't think so, but I just want to say that I'm enjoying the conversation you guys
Yeah,
are having,
thank you.
so I'm going to continue listening.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jenny. We love you madly. I'm going to hang up now.
Love you too.
All right. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Listen, it took me a while to.
It took us 15 minutes to try and figure it out, so I'm impressed.
It was actually it was 20.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, it was 20. It was 20. Now, when I look at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, these
Yes.
these 8 sabbats, whatever. The Midsummer. Now, Shakespeare wrote a play,
Did.
Midsummer
He
Night
did.
Dream.
We used it at our last ritual for that, yes. Or maybe not the last one before. I don't remember, but we've used it before.
Really? Shakespeare?
Yeah. We also have used bubbles within our circle and rituals, yeah. Sometimes they are very fun and lively and enjoyable. I don't want to say it like that, but sometimes there are just a lot of being silly, frumpy, type of energy. And then some of them have to be very toned down and very ritualistic. Like when we did the Dumb Supper, that was very ritualistic in how we did things. Like we created a circle, we had to cut a door in regards to our circle to let people out. There were specific ways of doing things around in the circle because that's typical of a ritual, right? So there was different ways. Even you've seen in rituals where we do the circle, we create the circle and then stuff like that. So I mean that's part of anybody's anybody's circle for ritual. And then you have ones like the Midsummer, which is supposed to be in regards to working with fairies and working with, the springtime aspects and all the frolicking. So I brought bubble guns and I used bubble guns while we danced in a circle because we're trying to raise our vibration to that extent. You know what I mean? And that to me
And
was a way.
laughter and fun
Yeah,
is a way to do it.
Absolutely. Singing, dancing
Singing, yeah.
obnoxiously, whatever you want to do, but that's how you raise your energy.
So, did you know that when you sing or chant, that you release 34 acupressure points through here?
No.
Yeah, you release it. That's why I'm convinced of this. This is why we're back to the Roman Catholic Church.
Right.
We're back to Judaism.
Yep.
Where they have the cantor and then they have the priest. Now the cantor, right? And now the priest would chant in front of the people because his whole energy changed from the releasing of the acupressure points,
That
and
doesn't
people could
surprise me.
see the face of God.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's when people, if they ever really sit down and think about all this, I really think that they'd be like, wow, and I really think it could really start to heal some of this nonsense that's going on in the world,
Yeah, the unfortunate part is that there's been a lot of years. I mean, not to sound like the pessimist, but there's been a lot of years of people just following the masses and not being able to think for themselves and independently or questioning.
Or questioning.
That's the unfortunate part is I'm a Generation X, I will own up to. I question everything. whether it's my beliefs,
I was
whatever.
taught to question everything by my mother, and I got in trouble in school because of it.
I'm not surprised. No, I didn't start questioning until later on in life. But I mean,
She would send me
that's
in
what it
there.
is.
She would like, I was like her ringer. Now, when you go to school tomorrow, raise your hand and ask the teacher, how could Christopher Columbus discover anything when there was already people living here? I was in first grade. She set me up for that one.
right?
Bad
teacher.
Yeah,
Poor teacher. Teacher.
Well, she just sent me home crying. That's
Right,
all the
right.
teacher did, just sent me home crying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 369. I'm going to have to look into this further. I'm going to have to look at this further.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But-
a lot of fun looking at the numbers.
Yeah, so now Yule is around the Yuletide, again with the songs,
Christmas. Yes.
Christmas,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Now, what is Ostara?
Ostara.
What is that?
Good question.
Jenny, get on the phone.
Somebody help us out, please. She's not a very good practicing witch. I have to look up a lot of this stuff. There's some of them that have to do with the spring, summer, Easter.
Who said Easter?
Jenny did.
She
Good
knew.
job, Jenny.
Listen, she's listening.
Excuse Thank you. I mean, do I know that they're coming about? Absolutely. Do I?
Well, you're in the science.
I am.
You're in the science. You're in the science.
Yes, but I believe in the little R aspect, the little religion aspect. I'm not talking of big R's. I'm talking about the little R's. Yes, I enjoy working.
I know
on
you
them.
do.
I
I know
absolutely
you do.
love doing
I've
them.
been there watching you.
Yeah, I get really in tune with them.
Well,
but
you've been facilitating these things, so of course
Yeah,
you do.
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, it's or around spring. Yes, Jenny. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Jenny goes, no problem.
She's the bomb. Is she a practicing witch?
I don't know.
Because she might be, because she's doing a lot better than I am. Just doesn't know it yet. But, I mean, our religion, I'm not, I get very upset with the big R's, right? Only because the big R's typically do not think, well, good job, Jen. Thank you. Yeah. When it comes to religion, I believe in whatever anybody else wants to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, put anybody in
Right, I'm the same way.
They can do whatever they want. But I can also find the greatness in why people choose the religions, Hinduism, Taoism, whatever it is. They choose it for a reason. And then there's the big book that I love. Okay, it's not really a big book. It's a little book. And this is the reason why I can't ever get Mystic Kabbalah and the Kabbalion. I get them confused
Kabbalah.
all the time. Have you ever read the Kabbalion?
No.
Virginia. Oh, you have to read this book.
I got to get past these ones
Yeah,
first.
but no, the Kabbalion is totally different. The Kabbalion is what my foundation is. Got a hair flipping all over the place.
Really?
Oh, God, it's the 7 principles, and it is, okay, not a lot of people agree with it. Not a lot of people believe in that aspect, but it is my foundation on why I believe in what I do. And both magically, spiritually.
The 7 principles. Number 7 is a holy number in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you can find 312. You can find those numbers also in the Bible. You know what I mean?
This is
You
true.
got 369. If you add, according to Nikola Tesla, we were missing the 12. 369, 12 should have been another one, but because that all the way goes down to 3, but 12 should have been there instead of there's the 369, because 12 is also a magical number, because you see it as the 12 disciples, the 12
Right.
months of the year. So 12 is technically a part of that 369 concept, but a lot of people don't utilize it. But
It could be like the missing link.
yes, well, Tesla always did everything in threes. Nikola Tesla did things in threes. Walked around his house, apartment, because he lived in a hotel. So he walked around it 3 times. He would do doors. He was on a certain floor with a certain number of his room, and that man was brilliant.
Well, they say like for people that really want to get into dream,
Yes,
like
dream
the dreams,
interpretation.
they
Yeah.
say that if you say to yourself 3 times out loud, "I will remember my dream when I wake," you say it 3 times,
And there's
you're
that
going to
3
wake
again.
up and you're going to have that pen and paper right next to you, and you're going to write it down. And it's like, Wow.
Yeah, and
It works.
I mean, subliminally makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever done that. I mean, I've heard of it before, but there's got to be a reason for the trees. I'm telling you.
I do the water thing. Okay, I get a glass of water. Okay, I was instructed to do this by the deceased Jeanne Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Okay.
I get a glass of water.
Yeah.
And I put it next to my bed, and I'm getting ready, to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I drink half the glass of water, but before I drink the water, I say to myself, I'm going to drink this water, and I'm going to remember my dream in the morning, and drink half of it. Then in the morning, when
You
I
say it out loud.
out loud. And then when I get up in the morning, I look at my glass. The first thing I do before my feet hit the ground,
Yeah.
I go, when I drink this water, I'm going to remember my dream. Drink it down, boom. Pen and paper, boom, done.
And do you know why it works
Why?
scientifically?
No, tell me. Tell me.
When you're speaking to your glass, you are adding the vibration of your words to the glass of water, which then for you
Yes.
ingest, and therefore it goes into the cellular level into your body to recall.
Repeat that for our listeners. You're right, 100% correct.
There's always a method to the madness because everything is on such a small basis. But yeah.
That Japanese scientists discovered all this. But go ahead
With
the water.
With the water and the frozen
So now
water and stuff.
repeat that for everybody because I want to make sure everybody gets this. Okay, so what happened now? When I set it into the water.
When you say it into the water, you're changing the vibrational frequency of that water so that when you drink it, that vibration is going to be ingested some way, shape, or form into the molecules that are make up your body. So you get it on a cellular level rather than a big. It's the micro macro concept.
Well, I remember when I had my water bottle. And I put a statement and taped it to my water bottle.
Yeah.
And I was drinking it, and everybody thought I was bots. And I was like, and then they came to me and said, well, Virginia, it came true. Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But y'all were laughing at me saying
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah. What is she talking about, this Japanese guy?
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait a minute. We only got 5 more minutes.
All right.
Okay, I just want to say before we end,
Okay.
thank you so much
No, thank
for
you.
coming on the show, and that you're going to be back next month with John
Yes.
and Kelly,
Yes.
your other 2 partners,
Yes.
and we're going to have an even more fascinating conversation.
Oh, it's going to be
Oh,
brutal.
wait a minute. They did a study with energy healing and water. I read that the healers changed the vibration of the water. It was interesting.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Jenny. Yep.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for coming because I was stuck.
I'm honored.
I was stuck. I was just like, what am I going to do now?
Call the witches.
This is only my second podcast, and I'm ready. I'm a flop.
Well, no, thank you for the experience because I've never done a podcast before, and
This is only my second one.
This is so out of my comfort zone, and that's what I've been pushing myself to do. So thank you very much for that opportunity. I greatly appreciate it. It's been
Yeah.
wonderful.
And
I
we
enjoy.
had little Miss Jenny call.
Yes, she's
they
awesome.
did with energy healing and water. I just wanted to get that, so this woman, who had the problem, she wants to come back on, and I just want to make that known to my viewers
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
we'll do what we can to get her back on
Yeah.
again. But next month, the first Thursday of the month,
Yes.
it's going to be the Alchemy of Spirits. Now, alchemyofspirits.com. Oh, I know what I want to ask you before we hang up. Your rituals. What is happening now with your rituals? Where are you having them? What are you doing? What's going on?
Right now, they're on hold.
They're on hold.
Yeah, they're on hold. Right now, we don't have a space, so we are just going to events. You can find them on either Facebook, Alchemy of Spirits, or you can find them on our website. And anything that they would want to purchase is on our website as well. The mystic candles, the custom candles, readings. I mean, we do it all. But so yeah, right now it's on hold in regards to where we haven't found a spot yet to really hold Maybe we'll do some outside ones during the summertime.
Summer, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, we've done that before where we've had
Yeah.
rituals. But I mean, we've got so many people out in different areas, so it's been a little bit challenging to try and find a central location, where you can get everybody together. So that's what we're looking for, is to find some place that we can meet everybody in the middle kind of concept.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah, and we're still doing online meditations. We're still doing, so I mean, we're still doing as much as we can without the physical space. But hopefully, we get to do all this one day because this is fun.
This is fun, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so now next month, the first Thursday of the month, we're going to have the team, Alchemy of Spirits, and I want to also let everybody know that I don't know how to end this.
Matt, me neither. So thank you.
Don't know how to end this. It's supposed to be like fade to black. Oh, wait a minute. Fade to black. It's over here. Don't worry, I got it.
Right, Virginia, I love it. I love it. That is such
Okay.
a great experience.
Thank
Thank you.
Wait, we still got a minute and a third. So, just in case John is watching, we missed you, and Kelly, we missed both of you, and we look forward to you both coming next month, and hopefully by then I'll do some reading.
In some kind of book.
Well, I am reading like 4 books right now.
Me too, and I get halfway done, and then that's it. I'm done. I can't do anymore. I have yet to finish a book in I don't know how many months.
Really?
Yeah, I just
I
suck
wonder.
at it.
I wonder what's up with that.
I lose interest really quick. I don't know.
Well, maybe you just got what you needed from them.
Mick says she can come on my show. Woo woo!
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! You. That's how I was discovered from Mick.
All right.
Mick discovered me.
Mick, nice. I'm good with that. Game. Find us. alchemyofspirits.com, or you can email us.
See, that's what he
You
said.
can call.
See what he says. He goes, "I created a podcast." Yes. Mick,
Nice.
she can come on my show. Beautiful,
All
Mick.
right.
That is so sweet of you.
Thank
and
you.
Mick, I want you to know I found the fade to black, and. But yeah, so this is Women's History Month. So we had a woman businesswoman
Yes.
here, and so people can't say that I abandoned my gender.
No, you did not. Just
No,
wasn't the exact topic it was supposed to be,
Yeah.
but it's close enough. I mean, I did.
This
talk
was more
business.
fun anyway. This was more fun.
I am
and more
anytime.
and this was like everything that she was going to talk about. I already know about.
Right.
This what you talked about. I'm learning, and
Nice.
this is
I'm all about learning.
and this is what I like. Okay, end the show. Fade
done.
to black.
Fade
Thank
to
you.
black.
We love you.
Bye.